Hey, it's Kim here and welcome to the Stanley Parable. I had to look up what parable meant because I did not know. This menu is freaking me out. Look at the computer. It's Inceptioning. Probably, I don't know how old this game is. It's probably from before Inception. But that weirds me out. End is never the end. That's fun.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
What? Listen to the music.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Feels like a comedy
Employee
movie.
number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Oh my god, it's my
Orders
job.
came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month
Every
of
day?
every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Oh my god.
Stanley was happy.
Stanley is a sim.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
The Stanley
Something
Parable.
that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Ooh.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, off you go, Stanley. No, it's me now. This is like Stranger Than Fiction. It's so weird, the voiceover sounds like a comedy. Oh my gosh, it's the pencil sharpeners from Portal. What's the time? That might be important. It is... Oh my gosh, I've suddenly blanked on how to read clocks. 25 past 11.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I'll go to the meeting room.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
This is amazing. The narrator is weird. Oh, this is eerie. As long as no one's gonna shoot me. Okay. Weird
When
room.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did he though? Do I have a choice? What if I go... I'm suddenly stressed about going the other way. Okay, let's go for it. Let's be...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Wow, so it changes based on my decisions. That's cool, but also interesting because parable, the meaning is a simple story to show morals or spiritual meaning or something like that.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Okay, we'll do that. Oh, so good. This is so strange.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Wait, he talked to me as if I...
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
He said you. He stopped talking about me in the third person. Well, what's in that room? Do I want to go in that room? We'll have a look here first.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
what do I do? Warning, do not jump while it's in motion. Oh, we can jump while it's not moving though.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
He is talking to
Someone you've been
me.
neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
What? Is someone...
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Now. Bribed? Do I go forward? You didn't tell me. This is scary. Oh, I don't want to go in the dark room. I've made wrong decisions. I should have just listened to the narrator. I'm gonna die. It's gonna be like the end. It's not scary. It's not scary. It's not scary. Okay, it's the headphones. The headphones make everything way worse.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Sure. Okay. And then I got brainwashed. Hello?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
What the frickety frack?
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
What's the
Come
point?
inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Oh my god. What the heck? I was really hopeful for garlic bread for
This
half
is
a
a
second.
very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Good morning, employee 427. Press T on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Press P. T.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Press 7. Oh, which one? I've got 2. Oh, doesn't like my number pad.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
That's what video
From
games
behind
are
his
for.
desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Press Y to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
It's in my
The
head.
thought excited him terribly.
Press O to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press E to prepare dinner. What if I don't? I'm going to just see what happens if I don't press a button. I guess we'll press it.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Press K. okay to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head, he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Oh, I already tried this. It's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. I haven't pressed it, but he's not responding, so when I press it, he's going to go, ha! This is so weird to play. Games are all about following instructions.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
With a mirror. Press N to question nothing. Can I just leave?
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Whoa. That scared me cutting to black. What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
It's just restarted.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The end is not the end, right?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, I'll do that this time. This is weird. What is going on? It's the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright. This is so true. So where's my boss's office? Broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I don't know, do I just follow his instructions now? Wow. Nice office. Holy crap, look at those ceilings.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not
Stunned.
an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
But this is so weird.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Whoa, fancy. Oh, I want to play the piano before we do that. Oh, I can't. Oh, this seems dangerous. And then I went down the elevator. It's got a red button. That is going to kill me. This is the kind of game that is designed to mess with your head. Oh, this is going to kill me. This is where I die.
Descending
not.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
So
This
strange.
question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, sweet. Because you're going to tell me? Because I had coffee this morning. I drank.
Stanley walked straight ahead
What?
through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Well, that doesn't seem ominous at all. This says escape, though. Oh, which one do I believe? Is this like Ratman from Portal? I don't know how I feel about that corridor though. But that's obviously really the mind control facility. Who would pay that much for signage just to fake it?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. Well, let's just go this way then. Unless he's lying to me. See.
Of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Wait, what if I go down there again?
Nope, still on board with death.
No, this is not a good game for me. This is going to fuck me up. Oh, which way do I go? Okay, just commit to something. Let's go escape. He wanted me to think for myself. And if I die, I die. At least I died thinking. This is so weird.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Get back on track to whose
At
plan,
this point,
though?
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. Please don't jump scare me. Just be... That's my death? Is to fall down a hole? That's very boring. Maybe we will go to the mind control facility. Or maybe he's lying to me. Maybe it'll be fine. And thus we realize I am the most indecisive person ever. Let's find out if we die. Oh, we're not dead yet. Ooh. Hey, we're not dead yet.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
What? I'm just gonna get... What? No.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? But it didn't. Someone else has taken over. What? The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
But I wasn't if I made the choice, right? And that's the credits. So that is the end? Or is it not the end? The end is not the end. Is this my afterlife? I'm so confused. What is down here?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
She means me and the narrator?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Whoa. Ooh, squishy sound. They were talking to me just then, as in Mimi. I want to go one more time, and we'll see where we end up. I'm not sure quite what realization it wants me to have.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
As a player, does it want me to realize that all games are like this? You're just following something through to the end, and it doesn't matter because you didn't get a choice in it?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Whoa.
What horrible
Like
secret
this.
did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Sure. Or am I meant to believe the female narrator and literally just quit? Will it tell me congratulations if I just quit the game? Because as a player, that's the choice I have. And no matter what choices I make in-game, it's still the game.
Now the monitors jumped to
Whoa.
life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Wow. Maybe I'm just not built for profound existential thoughts.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Probably. I'd believe that in the context of this game.
No.
Oh.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh, look at the pretty buttons and the
But
pretty
here was the proof.
colours.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I'm gonna rage against the machine! Facility power. Guess we can go pull the plug. I'm sure someone else will probably just plug it back in. Mind controls idle, awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I feel like that needs swelling music and a silhouette of someone posing like that. Ooh! I turned myself off. I was just part of the game!
Blackness
No?
and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Or did it ever begin?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Pretty.
That was all he needed to know.
I've always
It was
wanted a wall like that.
The only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Sure, okay, I'll do that. It seems a little too good to be true. Look, it's probably a picture. It's just a giant TV screen. 100% it's a TV screen. But I've really always wanted a wall like that. They're so cool. Okay. No,
Stanley
I did.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yay! Yay for Stanley. All I had to do was follow the instructions. I can tell there's still a lot more left in the game to explore because there's definitely decisions I think I could have gone back on. I could have not gone up to the boss's office and things like that. And it's so interesting. I like the way that it loops and just encourages you to keep going forward. And I really feel that pull to discover what else the game has. I like the theme of choice and free will. I feel like because I haven't had much time to really think about it in depth and think critically, I can't produce anything concise or articulate in response to the game. I like the way it's presented though. I think the game is doing a great job at bending that fourth wall and asking you to question yourself, making choices in the game, making choices as a character. It's really intriguing. I want to sit and think on it. But I would love to hear your thoughts, how you interpreted things, what choices you made. If you think that ending is actually the ending at all. Thank you so much for suggesting that I play this. It was languishing on my little list. And thank you so much for hanging out with me for this one. If you would like to hang out some more, hit subscribe and I will see you soon. Bye.